Sorry, folks. If you're looking for a professional day trading education, high-level trade analysis, and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I've been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to bring you exactly that. High-level professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. Sorry, I was just quadding down a really dusty road. I looked in the camera. I still have it all over me. I am covered in dust. Sorry about that, folks. Give me one sec. We're going to be going over a few specific trades that I took. You're going to learn a lot, so stay tuned. Give me one sec. I am going to fire up these charts, and let's do this. Okay, folks, I hope you all had a wonderful day. Today was certainly an extremely clean day. Let's talk about, just for reference and some context for people that are just joining us here, these blue levels, generally you don't see as many blue levels. It was part of a specific lesson today on screen share, but these levels are always struck prior to the market open. And then I develop trade plans and I follow them. And remember that, because that's going to come into play with today's main lesson. And you'll definitely learn a lot, especially as a new and struggling trader. It's going to put things into perspective for you as to why you follow plans. So let's go over these trades. Let me find the first one I executed. So on Qs was a very simple, straightforward initial trade plan. Originally, we went long. Now, as the market's about to open up here, okay, what it does is it starts to sell off. And then once the market opens, it opens up right at the previous close. Now, you can't execute a trade as soon as it opens up if it's right on support like that, because there's always tolerances. What you need to do is wait for it to basically verify that it's going to hold that level, or it's at least triggering on the trade. So what happens is it pops up, pulls back. That's when you can execute. You need to execute into a level. It can't just be right touching a level. So very simple play, execute the long. As it's coming up, I pay myself, and then you're going to see something. You're not going to see any sells up here as it really spikes. Now, you might be wondering why, and here comes the lesson. Because at 9 a.m., I said, if I execute this long, so if Qs triggers on that long level, the previous close, I will have to sacrifice my sells, my profit taking, in order to execute on the short. So that's exactly what I did. So just to really hammer this home, and I went over this with members, but this is more so for, well, it's for a refresher for members of Trick Trades, but also for traders that might be watching this. If you strip that back and you think about that for a second, that's a big deal, okay? And I'll tell you why it is. When you prepare, any asshole can prepare a trade plan. It is a matter of following it to the T. Trade plans are not just trade plans, okay? These are contracts that you write with yourself to do the right thing, to follow it and see it through, okay? Now, there's a lot of people out there. One of the problems, the main problems with today, is people don't know how to follow through with anything. It's one of the leading factors to why people don't achieve the success that they want. It's why that happens, okay? If you can have a million ideas, right? My brother's great for this. He's someone that has always said things. He said it so many times during his life. Oh man, that guy stole my idea. I invented that years ago, whatever this stupid idea was, right? Well, you might have had the idea, but you certainly didn't invent anything. You took no action. So what I'm getting at here is the importance of following your direction. Your trade plan is gospel. Okay. Once you develop that plan, it is about preparation. You follow that plan. That's it. You have your stops, you have your entries, your profit taking, and your stops if it doesn't work out. And that's it. No matter what, you follow it. And that's exactly what happened. So there's a lot of channels out there that people will tell you things, but they don't practice what they preach. Day in and day out, when I'm posting these recaps, I'm doing exactly. My members can attest to this. that I do exactly what I say I'm going to do. And this is it's just a perfect example of that, because I said at about 9:03 a.m. that if I take this long, if it triggers on the long, I will have to sacrifice my profit taking. So then I can focus on the short by buying puts. And that's exactly what happened here. So when you don't sacrifice, you're thinking very short term, and and you're very money focused. You're money biased. You're not thinking about process, and you're not thinking about the bigger picture. Now, you can look at this and be like, oh, well, you definitely fucked yourself out of $1,000. Okay, but if I wouldn't have entered and focused on the short, which I'll show you here in a second, that would have cost me just under 15,000. So there's a trade-off there. And it's not just about the 15,000 or the 3,000. It's about doing things right. And the byproduct of doing things right is the profit. Never look at profit as the number one thing. If you do, you will fail. Okay. The profit is only the byproduct of the process. When you do things right day in and day out, it is impossible to fail. I did a thought exercise where you could take two paths today. And the one path, by doing things right, it's truly impossible to fail. You'd have to be there to see it. I'm not going to fucking explain it right now. Okay. So that was the long. Beautiful trade. So if you're wondering why are there no sells there, it is 100% intentional. And what would that be? 30, 40 minutes from the time I said I was going to do that. Okay. So that was the long. Now let's talk about the short and why I wanted to execute the short. So that short had an extreme amount of potential. We have tried multiple times, if you look at both of these charts, to break out. We have edged higher, but we have not pushed through with momentum. Okay. The buying is definitely drying up. Something very interesting was happening on the charts, on the 1 minute chart. You can definitely see it, where there is starting to be institutional selling into retail buying. It's hard to see if you don't know what you're looking at, but I'm starting to see it. And it was almost every single 1 minute candle. When you see those candles flicker, okay, it's a real quick flicker. It's hard to describe when the market's dead. It's a lot easier to point this shit out when the market's live. But when the market's dead, what I'm trying to explain is a flicker. Now, I'm not saying that that is institutional selling into retail buying, but it is a sign on the day, on the specific daily chart that we are looking at. Okay, so I'm starting to see some interesting stuff. Now, this market will continue higher. We may get a little bit of a pullback, but we are going to continue higher. So don't be holding shorts very long. The odds dictate it is going to get highly irrational. We've seen irrational behavior in the market for the past week and a half straight, and it's going to continue. Okay. So higher potential for downside today, just today, not saying tomorrow, just today. Therefore, I really wanted to focus in on the short, and that's what I did. So executed the short as soon as this on this pop candle. That's where my entry was. As it comes up, I continue averaging in. This was a highly protected trade because not only did we have this level here, which is yesterday's highs, but we are followed by pre-market highs. And then if I were to zoom this out, there is a gap fill in and around 630. You're highly protected with minimal risk, especially for an over $600 stock or ETF. So executed that short and wrote it down into my target of this. Got a little bit further. My greedy target was this right here, this lower level. But once it popped up and it started pissing around, as soon as it came right into that level that I am drawing, exactly there, that was my last sell. because I didn't have many left, and I have to pay myself as it comes back down to touch support. Have to. So that was a very substantial trade and a really nice one. You're looking at well over 100%. If I had to take a look at it, it's about 150% from lows to highs or highs to my best sell. So really, really nice. And then SPY, there was one more quick little trade on a long into this main heavy protected level. I even said it was most likely not going to hold. It will most likely fail. So if you're going to take it with very small size and get in and get out. Your target should be there. And that's exactly what it was. Stopped out on the rest, made a few extra $100, and that was it. So today was an amazing day. Not P&L wise. I don't give a shit about that. And I've said that for the last 8 years on YouTube, 9 years. It's not about the P&L. It's never about the P&L. It is about the process. It is about doing things correct. And if you can do that, there is a world of freedom and success that awaits you that you have no idea what's waiting for you on the other side. Because I'm telling you, I live it, and I had no idea the amount of freedom I would have. Had an idea, small idea of it, but what it turned out to be was far greater than I ever could have imagined. That's what I want for all of you doing this. I've been doing this a long time, over a decade. So when someone has over a decade of experience that has had success, just listen to them. Doesn't even have to be me, but you listen to them. And if you do want to learn how to come do this, come to tricktrades.com. Get signed up, work with a coach that can actually get you there. Not only is there an entry strategy, but there is your exit strategy, a stop strategy, a risk strategy, a management strategy, and a sizing strategy. All in one to make the strategy. That sounds complicated, but this is not fucking complicated at all. This is as easy as it gets. And if not, you want to continue chasing your fucking tail, by all means, chase your tail for another year. It's not on me, that's on you. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, folks. Have a good one, and we're going to see you tomorrow. Adios, guys.